Okay, now let's load this data. Here we will keep out of sample data. So when we do our analysis, we do it on 80% of all data and 20% will stay completely untouched. That means that after analysis is done, we can verify our findings and the robustness of our findings on completely untouched and unseen data, which is very, very important in trading, to never evaluate a method on the same data that you use to optimize the method. So here we keep 20% for final test, and now you can see loading data is very fast, even if you're dealing with a lot of data. And now we are going to do the second step of analysis. The first one was to pick best in sample and out of sample time spans, and now of course we want to know what parameters are best suited for our system. And remember, this is our system. So we have four really important parameters, and these are the four moving averages. So every trader can understand what we will now do. We will seek the best values for four moving averages. 2 are used for entry, 2 are used for exit, and that's it. So let's start. DATFRA has a very powerful way to do this. So first, well, we can view it here. These are the 2 entry parameters, and these are their names. So the moving averages here, the one with the 2 digits is used for entries, and the one with 1 digit is used for exits. The one that has a 1 at first digit is always the fast moving average, and this is the slow, this is the fast, this is the slow. This for entries and this for exits. So just keep that in mind. And now here we have the 2 entry parameters, and we begin analyzing this parameter, so the fast one of the entry moving average cross, in relation to the forward trading profit, of course. And it's just one click, and it goes very fast, as you can see. And well, we will now get a diagram that is so easy to understand. You do not even have to be a trader to see that these moving averages work best for entries. So, well, if we translate this is the 6 bar, we can see this. These are the moving averages up to the 15th. These are the moving averages that work best for this cross in the entry. Yes, it's as simple as this. Right click, add to filter, and we are done. We now know what works best here. So the second one. This is now the slow moving average for the entry cross. And again, it's very simple to see what works best. Oh, and remember, here is a very clear trend, so it's most likely reality if so many data form so clear trends. Okay, what we can see here, let's zoom out a bit, but the trend is already quite clear for the second moving average. We want to use smaller values. You can see here, for example, well, we would use one between 120 and 170 or something like this. But you know, these two that we have just analyzed, each on its own, well, form a cross together, so we also want to see their performance in relation to each other and in relation to forward trading profit. And of course, DATFRA can do this quite well. So here we have an optimum, and we can also change this scale to make 0 the black. That means that everything going into red is negative forward trading, and everything going into green is positive. That should make this here a bit clearer. And yeah, now we can see these two parameters in relation to each other. This is the fast one, the slow one, and in relation to forward trading profit. So if we would have used a smaller value for the fast one, we should use a higher for the slow one, for example. But we will use, well, this one. So small one for the slow, and the middle for the fast one, because when we viewed them on their own, these were their optimums. So we already have the filter for the fast one here. Now let's also add the filter for the slow one. Well, let's use this one, for example. Well, this doesn't really matter because here the difference is not very high. So let's just take these, we add to filter as well. We're done with the analysis of our entries. We now know what works best for the entry moving average cross, the fast one between 77 and 170, and the slow one between 120 and 170. And now we want to analyze the exit moving average parameters. So because they are very dependent on the entry moving average parameters, we now filter our parameter space analysis data to only contain what we now know works best as entry parameters. So we apply these filters that we have just created. You can see this takes a while because it's not yet multi-threaded, so in the end version it will be a lot faster. Okay, so filtering is done now, so let's view these parameters. Let's first view this one. Well, this is this one, so the fast exponential moving average here. Let's view it in the same way as we already did. And you can see a very pretty trend here. So, well, we can see the higher the better in this case. We can also see that on the high the high of our range, it's a 50, is the optimum. So that would mean in reality we might want to redo our parameter space analysis and extend the range of this parameter beyond 50. But for this video it's okay to use something like this. Well, something like this can also be used. So here we have pretty good profit, and then it drops in the last two, so we now use this. We add this to the filter, but you should see that we only added to the did it edit now? Yeah, it was added. So, well, you can see that we only added it. Let's do this one to, well, now we use this bars. We added it, but we did not apply the filters yet. Let's first view the other exit parameter. Well, it's this one, the slow one. again just a click and we know what it's best. The higher the better, again in this case. So that would mean we would, if we would redo the parameter space analysis, we would also extend this parameter range beyond 300, because this is the optimum and perhaps there are even better parameters here, but well, again for this video it's okay to use it. So let's, well, use something like this. So these 4 bars here, they are the best. We add to filter, and before we apply the filter we want to, well, as we did it here in the entry, we also want to view the 2 exit parameters in relation to each other and in relation to forward trading profit, and here we can see it doesn't really matter what we use here as long as we stay in this territory. So well, this is pretty good, and now we know not only the best parameters for the entry cross but also for the exit trigger, and we can apply this again. Filtering is done now, so now we have 2 parameters left. The one used here as the difference threshold to trigger. So let's just view it. You can see there is no clear trend and they all behave quite similar. With this one that only has three data points, so it doesn't matter. So this one is, well, we can just leave it because it's no clear trend in here. And the last one, the stop loss, again we do not have a real trend in here, so perhaps we could filter only this once, but the more filtering we do, the less data we get to analyze. So we will just let it, and well, we now know the important parameters, the one for the 2 moving average, for the 4 moving averages, and that's so this step, picking the best parameters for our system, is now done as well.